Next at 4, 9 students and a teacher are killed at a high school in southeast Texas. The shooter's in custody as we learn he didn't have to go far to get the guns he used.
Then a Boeing 737 with 113 people on board crashes right after takeoff in Havana, killing almost everyone on board.
And panic in Hawaii after another fissure opens up, and we have new video showing the lava spewing from the ground. The Fox 5 News at 4 on this Friday starts right now.
Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 News at 4.
Good Friday afternoon. I'm Andrew Luria.
And I'm Jen Carlman. New details are emerging this afternoon about the suspected gunman behind yet another school shooting.
This one happened this morning in Santa Fe, Texas, which is southeast of Houston, where 10 people this time were shot and killed. Authorities found a rifle and a handgun and later found explosive devices, including pipe bombs and pressure cookers, in and near that school. The shooter has been identified as Dimitrios Pagortsis, a 17-year-old student who attends the school and who had played football on the JV team. He was also on a dance squad with his Greek Orthodox church.
So of those 10 people killed, we learned 9 were students, 1 was a teacher, 10 others were hurt.
And aside from the suspected 17-year-old shooter, a second person, an 18-year-old at this point, has also been detained. Authorities there say Pagortsis used a shotgun and a .38 revolver, both belonged to his father, and that he hid them under a long coat when he walked into the school, which they noted was an odd thing to wear given it was 90 degrees there. They say that he wrote in journals that he wanted to take his own life after the shooting, but instead they say he gave himself up and admitted that he didn't have the courage to commit suicide. Shortly after the deadly shooting, the president spoke.
This has been going on too long in our country, too many years, too many decades now. We grieve for the terrible loss of life and send our support and love to everyone affected by this absolutely horrific attack. To the students, families, teachers, and personnel at Santa Fe High, we're with you in this tragic hour, and we will be with you forever.
One student's reaction to the shooting has caught a lot of people's attention around the country after she said the shooting wasn't even shocking because it has become so common.
Was there a part of you that was like, this isn't real, this would not happen in my school?
No, there wasn't.
Why so?
It's been happening everywhere. I've always kind of felt like eventually it was going to happen here too. So, I don't know. I wasn't surprised, I was just scared.
Yeah, what was going through your head in those moments?
Well, I really just wanted to leave, but I thought it better to stay and just hide with everybody else.
Unfortunate that that is her reaction, the reaction of so many students today across America. With more on the new developments this afternoon from Texas, here's Kelly Smoot.
I was scared for my life. Nobody should go through this. Nobody should be able to feel that in school.
Officials say that 9 students and 1 teacher are dead after 17-year-old Dimitrios Pagortsis allegedly walked into an art class at Santa Fe High School in Harris County, Texas, and opened fire.
Several more shots from him. He's actually shooting. He's in the art room. We got shots fired right now, guys. We need to help you.
Witnesses describe running from the school when they heard gunshots.
A teacher was telling us to go, 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 and then, it's like instinct. You're scared, you're traumatized, so you're running as fast as you can.
Officials say explosive devices were also found at the school and in surrounding areas, and warned locals to be on the lookout for any other suspicious devices.
Various different kinds of explosive devices have already been detected. One was a CO2 device. Another was a Molotov cocktail. And there are various other types of explosive devices that have been identified both in a home as well as in a vehicle.
More than a dozen other people were injured Friday, including the shooter, and at least 1 person is still in critical condition. President Trump saying the federal government will be involved.
My administration is determined to do everything in our power to protect our students, secure our schools, and to keep weapons out of the hands of those who pose a threat to themselves and to others.
I'm Kelly Smoot reporting.
All right, Andrew and Jen, as you might imagine, social media lighting up very quickly following the shooting today. And look at this tweet right here. This is from a student, Rome Schubert. I'm so grateful and blessed that God spared my life today. Today I was shot in the back of the head but I am completely okay and stable. From the Houston Police Chief, Art Acevedo, the men and women of Houston Police stand with the entire community of Santa Fe. Our thoughts and prayers are with all involved. Please continue to pray for all the victims, their families, and friends. Senator Ted Cruz, very grateful for our law enforcement, first responders, and many others working quickly to support this community in its time of need. You saw Governor Greg Abbott a short time ago. He said Texas flags across the state are being lowered to have staff in memory of those who lost their lives in the school shooting at Santa Fe High School today. And finally, from the social change group March for Our Lives, this is to the students and faculty of Santa Fe High School. We are with you. Jen.
All right, Phil, thank you. And as new details continue to come out about this story, we will continue updating our viewers not only on the air, but also on the Fox 5 app. We encourage you to download it.
Meanwhile, new at 4, San Diego County Sheriff's deputy is now on the other side of the law, accused of grabbing a teenage girl at a North County restaurant.
32-year-old Timothy Wilson Jr. worked at the Vista Jail, and our Felicia Martinez tells us more about his arrest. She's now live. Felicia.
Well, Sheriff Bill Gore said today that Timothy Wilson was arrested while at work. He says even though this incident took place in North County, it wouldn't be appropriate to send him to jail where he worked. This surveillance video led to the arrest of 32-year-old Timothy Wilson, a detention deputy at the Vista Jailhouse, who is now accused of groping a 14-year-old girl.
On May the 9th, a sheriff's employee recognized Timothy Wilson Jr. as a possible look-alike suspect and notified the department on that same day.
The sheriff's office says the groping took place in March at the Panda Express on Main Street in Vista. The video was released to the media on April 9th and clearly shows the man walk inside the restaurant and stand in line. After a few seconds, he looks outside and then, as seen in the reflection, he grabs the young girl's buttocks and takes off out the front door. 1 month later, a sheriff's employee recognized that man to be Wilson, turned him in, and the investigation began, leading to his arrest at work today.
Well, I'm not going to go into all the details of the investigation. We felt we had enough through our exhaustive investigation to arrest him today and charge him with the crime.
Wilson, who has 10 years with the Sheriff's Department, is now behind bars facing 1 count of felony lewd act on a child. The deputy, whose duties included the care and custody of the Vista booking facility, is now sitting behind bars himself at the San Diego Central Jail and put on unpaid administrative leave.
As the sheriff, I'm deeply disappointed with Mr. Wilson's conduct, but proud of the men and women of this department who do not tolerate criminal acts in the community or within our own ranks.
The Sheriff's Department is now asking the public to come forward with any information about this case or any other case that Wilson could possibly be involved with. We also are told that his initial appearance will be sometime next week. Now we are live outside the San Diego Central Jail. I'm Felicia Martinez, Fox 5 News.
Felicia, thank you. New information at 4 o'clock about a deadly plane crash in Havana, Cuba. All but 3 of the 113 people on board were killed, and the survivors are in critical condition. The flight was headed from the Cuban capital to a city on the east side of the island nation, about 500 miles away. Witnesses say they saw a large fireball and a huge plume of smoke when it went down near the airport just after takeoff. Photos show a grim scene with the plane broken apart in the wooded area of that plane, a 737.
Small cracks around the volcano in Hawaii are spreading apart as Mount Kilauea continues to erupt on the Big Island. That volcano is blasting ash, smoke, and pulverized rock. Yesterday, the volcano shot the debris 30,000 feet into the air when it first erupted, though rain kept the ash from spreading particularly far. Last night, a fissure, another one formed, the 22nd crack to open up in the last couple weeks. The USGS says most of the boulders and the debris that was ejected from the crater likely fell pretty close to the blast site. And scientists also say at this point they do not expect Mount Kilauea to stop anytime soon.
That video is incredible. President Trump, hoping the second time's a charm, announced his new pick to head the Department of Veterans Affairs. Robert Wilkie, the current Undersecretary of Defense, has been serving as the VA's acting secretary since the president fired David Shulkin in March. The president's last pick, White House physician Ronnie Jackson, withdrew his nomination 3 weeks ago after scathing rumors about his work history surfaced during the vetting process.
Among the contributing factors to the outbreak of hepatitis A that killed 20 people here in San Diego, a lack of public restrooms was cited in a grand jury report as part of the problem.
Fox 5's Jason Sloss is live after talking with one city council member who thinks there needs to be more. Jason.
Hi there, we're along the Bayfront. Right behind me, some public facilities. These restrooms are fairly new, and according to that grand jury report, more restrooms just like these would have been a huge help in dealing with the hepatitis A outbreak. The outbreak, which started in March of last year and lasted through the beginning of this year, killing 20 people with nearly 600 others infected. The grand jury highlighted the lack of restrooms available in the downtown area, where sanitary conditions were lacking among the homeless population. In fact, there have been previous grand juries and other recommendations that the city add restrooms for public health reasons. And those recommendations go back nearly 2 decades. Why wasn't more done to get them? 2 topics come up: security concerns and the cost. I talked with City Councilman Chris Ward, who wasn't on the council during those previous grand juries, but he says the restrooms just weren't a priority, but going forward, that has to change.
As we're trying to pay our police officers more and we're trying to make sure that we're keeping our libraries and our parks open, you know, it's all about the budget and competing priorities. Building new restrooms will be costly over time, but it's something that we do need to elevate on the priority matrix and figure out how to fund.
And some restrooms have been added recently. He tells me there's about 25 to 30 public restrooms, both portable and permanent, around the downtown and East Village areas. I also asked him about the cost and how many more he feels need to be added for public safety, health reasons going forward in the future. We'll have those answers coming up next hour. Live in the Embarcadero, Jason Sloss, Fox 5 News.
Conversation worth having, Jason. Thank you. The city of San Diego just settled a wrongful death lawsuit involving a woman who was killed by a falling tree during a powerful storm in Pacific Beach. Nikki Carano was driving along Fortuna Avenue in early 2016 when a large 50-year-old tree fell on her car, killing her. Her family was just awarded $700,000. They sued the city, saying that it failed to keep the area safe and didn't warn the public of the hidden danger of the tree. The tree that fell was a large Torrey pine that was designated as a landmark tree, meaning there had to be a permit granted in order for it to be removed. Ahead, Meghan Markle will be marching down the aisle in just a few hours, and she'll do it in a way never before seen at a royal wedding. We'll take you live to Windsor after the break.
Plus, a Riverside County father accused of unspeakable abuse goes before a judge again, but this time it's for something related to his kids' education.
Well, a little bit of sunshine moving towards the coast. We've got a little bit of drizzle in the forecast as we look ahead overnight, and then a warm up for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
Also coming up at 5 o'clock, the $250,000 solution announced today to deal with the sewage flowing from the Tijuana River.
You're watching the Fox 5 News at 4.
Guys.